Conversation with myself like this better work. That's why I get peace of myself almost every verse. I spent my whole life grinding, I ain't asked for help. I used to starve as a kid, I had to feed myself. Remember all the hard times we kept trying, and we rise and we fall. The times we had to walk, now we stay flying. Now we grind till we ball.
This walk you cannot fake. Step aside, respect my pace.
Okay, I'm about to start it out. Let's go.
But you better respect my walk. Face cards, bitches can't compete, can't compare to me. I'm the
Okay, there you
VIP.
go.
They can hate, they can talk.
Welcome to another episode of Artist to Artist Podcast at the AV Club. It's your boy Westside, and I got a special guest with me today.
It's your girl Qveen, and that's Qveen with a V because I am Victoria.
Let's go. Thank you so much for showing up for the podcast.
No, thank you for having me.
Oh, most definitely, of course. All right, so the first question I always like to ask is, where does music start for you? So who would you give credit to putting music in your life?
Oh my goodness. You know, music was really different for me because music started at a time when I was like 13. Mm-hmm. And I was telling people when I originally started doing music, it was kind of like an scapegoat, like an escape way, whatever, because, you know, my mom, she was in prison at the time. Okay. So there was a lot of changes going on. I could barely make friends. And I just remember one time in middle school, and you know how people are like beating on the tables and stuff like that. And I literally made no friends. Like I had no friends. I was just a very awkward kid just because I was going through so much at home. So when I went to school, it was very hard for me to branch out. And I just remember this one girl, and she was beating on the table, and I was like, oh. And it was like a cereal rap. I'm like, cereal, Fruit Loops, blah, blah, blah. So then everybody was like, oh, you can rap. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. And then after that, I started making friends. And so that's why I said music was kind of like that changing point for me, like to really start branching out my personality, meeting new people, even though I did take a long hiatus. But yeah.
Okay, we definitely gonna talk about that. Okay, so it started off with just like, you know, recreational, just with the friends and stuff like that. But like, how did you actually get to the point of like recording music? Like,
oh my gosh. So actually recording, I kept doing that. I was actually getting in trouble in school. I actually got suspended from school because I started a riot with doing the beating on the table and all of that. Yeah. But it was a guy there. His name was Mr. Alvin, and Mr. Alvin was like, oh, you know, since you keep, you know, cutting up in my classes and all that, you might as well get into this for real. And he was kind of just telling me, you know, maybe you should start looking and doing your research to figure out how you can become like an artist and all of that. And he was a producer at the time too. He introduced me to that lifestyle. And then also I had an uncle at the time, you know, once I started getting really into it, I asked him about it and he said, yeah, let's do it. And I recorded my first song, which was Check. Yeah, it was Check. That was like back in like middle school. It's like I'm spinning a check. It was so trash. So that was how I originally got started into music.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So did you know what type of artist you wanted to be in the beginning?
No.
Okay.
I did not know what type of artist. If you ever looked at one of my old songs and then obviously look into what I'm doing now with fashion and runway, when I first started, it was really just like I was really inspired by, I want to say like probably like the OMG girls, Missy Elliott. Like I wanted to do that type of music. And yeah, when I originally started, I just felt like I had to go down the path that I didn't really want to go to be seen. And you know, when you have so many males telling you, oh, you got to do this to make it, or you got to do that to make it. Yeah. It really just made me fall in love with the process. And I felt like I had to be that, you know, booty shaking type of girl just to get put on. And that's one thing I didn't really like about the music side of things, especially at that time. Cause like back in like 2013, you know, 2014, that was when that kind of rap was kind of like really popping. So yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's important that all different shades of artistry is promoted. I feel like some of my favorite artists weren't like, you know, booty shaking. I still listen to Lauryn Hill every day. Like Window Seat is like one of the records I just like to listen to. Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu. You know, it's a lot of different artists that I just like that doesn't necessarily portray that. And not to say that any version of music is better than any other.
Right.
Everybody have different flavors and tastes. Everything exists for a reason. So like trap music is just as important as the conscious rap. It's just as important as like, melodic music and so on and so forth. So, that's just me. So like, all right, so you said your inspiration growing up was like the OMG girls and things like that, right?
Yeah, I would say like the OMG girls, because around that time when I started doing music, they were like a real pivotal, like, okay, I was paying attention to like what people my age at that time were doing.
Yeah.
And obviously, you got your OGs, you got Missy Elliott, you got Nicki Minaj, you got, because around that time, at 10, maybe like 11, there was so many. You had Trina, you had Eve, like you just had so many people that was really dominating the industry. So I can say that really played a huge like eye opener for me. Missy Elliott for sure would be the person that I can say like I really yeah.
With this new wave of artists now, right? With the female artists is expanding even more now compared to before. Before it kind of felt like it was a certain amount of artists that could kind of hold the spotlight, and now it's like even broader. Like, how do you feel about that wave and that shift?
I think that's the reason why I waited so long to get back into music, because I felt like I was misplaced and I didn't really know how to express myself. So now, with the help of social media, seeing all these new artists like Sexy Red, all these like regular girls, like literally so many different artists, even Ice Spice. When Ice Spice started, I'm talking about Baby Girl had an afro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was shocked because I'm like, okay, maybe we are at that generation of music where we really could, as women, be ourselves. Like, we don't have to, explicitly do something just to catch people's eye. So that for me played a really, really, really big role because, especially Sexy Red, that's I love what she's doing. She's doing a lot.
Yeah,
but I love the fact that she was that girl that showed up on screen with her glasses. Like, you wouldn't expect that if this was like back then. Yeah. And I think that was a way that people caught, her attention. Like, people caught that because that was different.
Yeah, I think that's the ones that we've seen that reach the high pinnacles have had like their own style of flavor, right? Even if they were talking in a sense of like, the type of rap that's more prevalent now, but their style of look is different. So like, Sexy Red, you said, with the glasses and the way that she approached music, I don't know, I kind of get this vibe like she give me like the Soulja Boy, the female Soulja Boy.
It's definitely like female Soulja Boy, but she found her lane and she stuck with it. And I noticed that a lot of artists today are finding their lane and they're sticking with it. They don't care if you like it or not. This is what I'm gonna push out. If you dig it, you dig it. If not, oh well. Find your audience and just be okay with that. And I think that's something that I really appreciate today from a lot of today's artists is the fact that everybody is finding their lane and sticking to it and being true to themselves at the same time. Because I do feel like there was that time in music where I'm talking about broke people. Like, you broke, you ain't got no money. And you walk around here with a big chain. You walk around here like you got money. You feel like you got to have all these girls in your music video and look good. And now music videos that are actually trending, reels and all that, like 30, 60-second clips, are just regular people. Like, I remember it's this one dude, I can't even think of his name. I think his name is Sean Fades or something like that.
Okay.
This man is literally holding a freaking bucket like a chicken and just rapping.
Oh, just rap.
China, I think that's her name. China, this girl's rapping with a freaking watermelon hanging from the sky. You know what I'm saying? But she is sticking to herself. They're sticking to themselves. So I think that really is playing a big role in today's music industry. Yeah. Labels are not developing artists anymore. They're not. So it's either you got it or you don't. But I think I love the fact that people are investing in themselves and not doing the traditional thing of just, how do I put it? Displaying something that isn't necessarily them. Yeah.
That's important, honestly. I even like look at like, for example, like Ice Spice. So like her with the infamous fro and the look. And I feel like that kind of like the aesthetic of how she looked helped her take off. And so, just me being honest as a person observing music, I feel like that played into the music and the look and the aesthetic, and that's why she was like such at a high peak so quickly. And like since then we've seen her shift and like kind of stray away from what originally made her that it girl, and it seemed like the audience don't take to it as much, because maybe when she had the fro, she was more, maybe people felt like that she was more relatable at that point.
People felt that she was more relatable. I personally, when I saw it, you know, as someone who likes wearing natural hair and wearing my natural hair, I'm like, oh shoot, like who the little light skinned girl with the ginger and shit? You know what I'm saying? People want to feel like they can connect to you. And a lot of, I don't want to say past artists, because I don't think that's necessarily true, but I think we are in a generation, a time, because, you know, social media within itself is just a fake world, very fake. And when people do see things that kind of, you know, make sense to their everyday life, they gravitate towards it. They appreciate it more. And the same thing with Sexy Red. We all know Pound Town was Doodoo Brown. Like, come on now. We know it was very, you know, I love you, girl, but that was a lot. But her style made us want to root for her. You know, why can't Niece? I love her so much. Yeah. But just them being themselves, you're not coming, you know, with the fakeness. And I think people appreciate that. They really do. They see it.
I would say also another form of artistry that I see people use in order to get on is gimmick, right? So like, for example, in this person, I give them props because the way that they were able to flip the script on me. Because when I originally heard Doja Cat, and I heard that, bitch, I'm a cow, I was like, this is ass. Like, I don't like it.
I had it on repeat.
Man,
I loved it.
Females was loving it. They was like, moo. And I'm just sitting there like, come on, y'all really finna say this is hot. Like, I didn't like it. And then she kept going. Of course, she took the success of that song and started her career. And then I saw her flourish as an artist for real. And honestly, I feel like it was probably already there, but it's just, hey, I need to do something to get attention. So I'm going to give you, bitch, I'm a cow. And it's probably going to piss some people off, and you might vibe with it. And then I'm going to give you this other stuff that is actually what I want to do. And it's like even more of like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, you did that.
The crazy thing about it is she also did get a lot of hate from that record. Same thing with Sexy Red. They got a lot of hate from it, but people don't understand that even hate is actually good. Yeah. Because it means that you have people paying attention to you.
It makes a conversation.
And the more they're sharing it, the more, you know, people gonna find they tried regardless. You know, you hating, you sharing it to thousands of people. Somebody within that hating ring is gonna like it. Yeah. And that's another thing I think artists need to understand, is that you will get hate for what you're pushing out, regardless. But as long as you understand how to navigate it, that's the most important part. And, you know, I love Doja. That was actually on repeat. Doja is a very talented, she was always a very talented artist, but like you said, she needed to do something to get people's attention. So. Yeah.
And I give, like, so for example, Blueface did it when he came out, and he was rapping in a different pocket, which to me was offbeat, but it made everybody talk about it and like, yo, he's rapping offbeat, and they kept sharing it to the point that he became famous.
And people loved him for it.
Exactly. And then even like Jello, you know, LiAngelo Ball, with the record he did, and it kind of had that older feel to it, and they making memes to it, and then that just grew into success, you know, from there. So but I do think it is hard for artists to take criticism, you know, from people, especially people that they don't know, especially at Abundance. You can imagine seeing 5,000 comments saying, I don't like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would discourage a lot of people.
Man, I mean, I get it all the time. Like, even with me being a model, you get hate all the time. And you have people telling you, oh, she's ugly, or, oh, she looks like an AI, or, oh, she look, which I'm not going to lie. Someone said that on my page the other day, and I said, wait, what? Like, what? Like,
is that a compliment, or is that a
new
disrespect?
Compliment or new disrespect? Like, I don't know
like,
how
this
to
look
take
too
that.
Good to be real.
They was like, oh, she has tattoos, she's AI and all this stuff, and I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
no, I just so happen to be a black model that looks good.
Yeah,
with tattoos.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a little weird, but maybe what it is that because of the fact that I get so much hate, I know how to block it out. And you know, a lot of artists, they are different. They are coming from different backgrounds and different, you know, places. And, you know, that can be very challenging, because you do have to get to a point where you don't pay attention to so much hate. but you pay attention to the people that are showing love towards you, positivity towards you. Anytime I see 5 comments with hate, I look at 10 with love. And that's how you have to see it.
You got to be able to filter through it, honestly. Even with like doing like podcasts and things like that, I post videos and sometimes I don't get a good response. Sometimes they might feel some type of way of what the person is saying or what I'm saying. And, you know, I do like to show love regardless. So, like, even if it's a hate message or a comment, I like it or whatever. Or, you know, if it's a critique or something, you know, I'll give my opinion on it too. And we can talk about it if you feel like this isn't right or if it could have been better or whatever you feel indifferent. It's art at the end of the day. You know, you could look at a painting on the wall and you could say, I don't like it. And a million other people say, we love it and we'll buy it.
We love it.
So,
we'll buy it. I'll take 10.
Exactly. That's art at the end of the day. You know, not everybody's going to love it. So I want to ask you about your hair, right? So tell me, like, is it part of your essence? Because I could kind of hear it in the music in a sense. I get that feeling of, like, empowerment within your hair. So, like, tell me, is that something that you...
Don't touch my hair. Listen, my hair has caused so much controversy and problems, but I've also gotten so much love as well as hate. And because of the fact that I am in the modeling industry, not only, you know, as stated earlier, not only am I an artist, I'm also a model. So when you are in these environments that, you know, you basically have to be a canvas, very polished. And me having this big ass fro, sometimes some designers will not go for it. Some designers will be like, oh, well, she's not wearing her hair like that in my show. Or, you know, just in general, productions are, you know, and just so y'all know, the modeling industry is still very much racist. Like, I don't want y'all to ever think that stuff is just straight. No, it's very still, you know, it's getting a little bit inclusive, but we're still fighting for certain spaces and to be in certain rooms. So, you know, with my hair, I do get a lot of kind of like uncertainty with it because people, especially Black people, they want to understand, well, why? And they're like, oh, well, do you not know how to do your hair? Are you tender-headed? Are you this? And I'm like, no, I actually just appreciate where I come from and I want to wear my hair like this. I wasn't always wearing my hair like this, by the way, but you know, I think what it was is when I got older.
Okay.
You know, and just getting older and just understanding where you come from and understanding your roots and just appreciating it at the end of the day. You change. And one thing I can say that really made me appreciate it, because at first it was a mistake. I did walk the show. It was one show back in Swim Week. I literally couldn't even get my hair done. I couldn't afford it. I was going through so much. I was homeless. It was just a lot going on, and I couldn't afford to get my hair done. And I told the designer, I was like, I can't, because I used to wear my hair straight. I was like, I can't wear my hair straight today. I have a fro. And she saw it. She was like, I actually like it. And I'm like, you do? She's like, yeah, I actually like it. You can wear your hair like that. So I wore my hair like this, and it was in LA. It was LA Fashion Week. I wore my hair like that, and it blew up. And what's crazy is people didn't even know that I was struggling at that time. Like, you could have saw me at that time, and you would have just been like, oh, she's just perfectly fine. No, I was struggling really bad. And I wore it in LA. Everything blew up. It actually ended up going viral on some blogs page. Some blog reposted it, and it was like, oh, a girl with an afro is wearing her hair. And, you know, I got so much love, but then I also had so much hate. And you know what's crazy? I get a lot of love, and I don't. I get a lot of love for people that are not in our culture.
Oh, yeah. They
appreciate
it.
They love it. Like, you know, they're just like, oh my God, your hair is beautiful. Like, I love the texture. I love it. And then, like, let's just say if I was at like a club or at, you know, maybe like an area where there's like a lot of Black people, they're just like, oh my gosh, girl, you need to comb that. That look a mess. Or this one guy was like, oh, that ain't your hair. Or why you wear your hair like that? Or
what?
And I'm just like, I was so confused. And I talk about it a lot on my page because I'm so confused about how you would think that I would get a lot of love from Black people with wearing natural hair because that's where we come from.
Yeah.
But I don't. I actually get more love and appreciation from people that are not even in our
race.
And it is the most backwards feeling ever. And I don't know if it's maybe because of this generation, maybe this generation of men don't appreciate. I don't know. Obviously, you know, older black men appreciate it, of course.
Yeah.
But when you're dealing with, like, when you're trying to date and you're dealing with guys of like your age, I'm 27, it's like, you gonna change that? Or I'm like, no.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. Like, honestly, I'm a person that takes the natural.
Really?
Over anything.
So
yeah.
you appreciate natural?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay.
Yeah.
You still young. You young.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know. That's to me. I'd rather that than, like, you know, weaves and lace front, because it's like, I don't know what you really look like. Like, this is what you really look like.
The Afro.
So if you fall for this, if they do the lace fronts or whatever extraness that they do, it's a plus.
You know, and I actually after that, I actually felt when I did try to go back to straight hair on the runway, I felt very disconnected from myself.
Yeah.
I felt like I had changed and evolved so much in, you know, the time where I did started wearing my fro. You know, I was wearing it because I couldn't get my hair done. So I got used to looking at myself this way. Yeah. So when I did get my life together and when I was able to go back to, you know, being able to afford certain things, getting my hair done, I just felt like I was different. Like I felt like I was no longer that person from my past. Like I evolved. And it was like looking at a different person. And I swear it's like God really, within that time, transitioned me. It's like this was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
This is how I created you to look. This is how I created you to be and appreciate it. I've literally had little girls say because they saw me on that runway, they're wearing their hair in afros now. They're appreciating who they really are. Like, I had a little baby. She was just like, why are you wearing your hair like that? I said, Mama, your hair looks like this.
Yeah.
But because you're so used to, I didn't say this part to it, but in my head, I'm like, because little girls and little black girls, and because we're so used to seeing the weaves, the perms, the all that, we become conditioned thinking that something like this is not normal for us. When it is, we come from this. And you know, she was in such shock. She actually, she was really inspired, but she actually ended up doing her hair like that. And I have the video and everything. Her mom sent it to me. Yeah. And she was like, I want to be like you. And that honestly made me cry because it made me realize that I'm breaking burials in a way on the fashion side and on the side of just presenting myself as a black woman. Just making sure people know, like, this is us, and we can be appreciated in any room we stand in. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I find it certain things weird because I would say, like, in this world, I see, you know, please don't take this offensive, anybody, but I see a lot of black women take two styles of more European looks, and I see a lot of European women take more styles to black women.
Let's talk about it. Yeah. And you know what's crazy? When I'm doing these shows, those girls want their hair like this.
Yeah, they wish they could have it like that.
They wish they can make their hair like this. They're asking what kind of perm, what kind of, like, they're literally asking. Oh my gosh, I was at the Hard Rock last night, and then everybody was like, "Well, dang girl, you look like a foxy," like. Yeah. And I'm just like, when we get in our culture, when we're around, I just wish we knew how beautiful we really were, and how the world really saw us. They're intimidated. Yeah. It's intimidation to make women feel like, and it's not. I don't want to get emotional, but it's if we really knew how those people really looked at us, trust me, we will embrace more of who we are. Honored. They love it. Inspired. And it's kind of like self-hate. It was one guy, and he was just like, oh, your hair looks a mess and all of that and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, whatever. But in my head, I'm like, you came from a black woman. Your hair is like this. Your mama's hair is like this. Yeah. How do you not appreciate that? So to me, it's the most. It's kind of scary to see how someone can come from this culture and not appreciate it or not understand it.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it's a little bit of programming at the same time. You know, it's a lot of mental war that goes on in people that they're not necessarily aware of. And it's from your environment, a lot of things you experience or exposed to that does persuade you and have an influence on you that you don't even know. And so when I see those type of things, you know, like, again, don't hate me, but like a beautiful black woman with a blonde,
a 613.
Yeah, like, and I was just like, you know damn well,
where the roots come from, girl?
You know damn well, and at
least do a ginger. You know we got black people,
it's some gingers. It's some gingers, but they run from that, and I just don't understand it. But I'm just hoping with this next generation, they look at where you come from and appreciate it more. I think we need to go back and look at history and just brush it off and polish it and let it shine a little more. I think we too forward thinking, which is good, to look forward and try to innovate and create new things. But the past, it shows you, where you're going and what you're capable of. There's a lot of things that as a culture that we kind of just brush past and okay, what's going on next? We're very much like, what's next? What's going on next?
Looking straight of what's in head and try to deal with that.
Yeah.
But I don't think we too much look into a clock, right? We're just looking at how can I tack this now and figure this out now. But we're not thinking about our generation, their kids, they kids, they grandmamas and all that. We're not thinking like that no more.
Yeah.
And one thing you did say, you said we need to go back. Around that time when I was going through that really, really dark period, I was just remembering my upbringing, who I was raised by, what happened. It was like I took a moment to figure out, how did I get here? How did I get to sleeping in my car? How did I get to what happened? I was educated. I was doing this. I was doing that. So within that process, I was thinking a lot about my childhood. And I was originally raised by my grandparents because my mom was in prison. So I did grow up seeing hair like this. I did grow up seeing, hearing certain music, Marvin Gaye, all of that. So it was like I literally took a complete year of just going back and trying to fix what was broken. But honestly, it was kind of like appreciating where I came from, understanding who I am, and navigating in a new way. So within that time, and it was such a really dark period. It was such a dark time, but it was a time that I really needed to reflect on who I really was. So.
No, that's big. So when you create, would you say it's important for you to put those messages? That's something that you pull from when you create?
Always. It's always important. Respect My Walk, it's a confidence boosting song. I'm talking a lot about, I walk around with a big ass fro. You can't duplicate. But most importantly, just making women feel appreciated about who they are. You can be 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Who gives a damn if they're intimidated by it? It's so many, aspects in that song that's really just giving people motivation and not even just women. I would say men too, because I've had some men okay, I like it. It's different. And, it's important that people feel good about themselves. So.
Yeah. Self-love is very important. I don't think a lot of people have it. They very much, because me just experiencing people in general, I just feel like a lot of people need to heal and figure that side out. How you reflected and took that time to really look at where you've been through and where you at now and things like that. A lot of people don't do that. Like I said, forward thinking a lot. So even in relationships, a person would break up with somebody and then hop right into something else just to distract themselves from whatever is broken. And 9 times out of 10, if you was in the past for a couple of relationships and you could say, yeah, this didn't work, this didn't work, this didn't work, and you can pinpoint all that. There's a message somewhere in there.
So I actually do confidence courses, and it's so crazy that you mentioned that, because in one of my sessions in the confidence course, I asked everybody to hold up a mirror and actually look at themselves and speak to
Mm-hmm.
you're speaking to you in front of the mirror. There was some people that did it, but there was some people that really struggled with it. And I asked the question, I said, why do you feel like you struggled so much to speak to yourself?
Yeah.
And those women just started crying. And it was like, one person told me for the first time, that was the first time I ever looked in the mirror and told myself that I was like legit beautiful, that I loved what I see. And I think that kind of broke me a little bit because, like you said, you know, in the modeling industry, we get slack all the time about how we look, how, your titties, your butt, your body. And I also think that was another time where I realized, like, wow, like, do I really appreciate who I am? Do I really appreciate how I look? And just seeing that someone struggled so much with giving an affirmation to herself, that bothered me because it made me realize myself and even a lot of people do struggle with having that confidence within themselves. So as someone who struggles a lot, even still to this day, I ain't perfect. I ain't gonna sit up here and bullshit you now.
Yeah.
As someone who struggles so much with image because I'm always in that light of being scrutinized for how I look and who I am. So, you know, that was one thing that I can say was very, very, it was very hard for me to look at that and see that. But it was also why I felt it was important to put these messages out in music. Respect My Walk, you know, confidence, obviously.
Yeah.
But even when I'm promoting the song, I'm pushing out messages like, oh, you know, respect Black women, protect Black women, love Black women. You know, I'm doing different things to promote it. And people were like, oh, you know, we thought you were going to do this and do that. And I'm like, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. That's not the message that I'm trying to push out. I can care less about me walking down, looking cute, looking sexy. That's not what that song was about.
Yeah.
I didn't make Respect My Walk. I made it to have fun, of course, but I made it so people can really understand that, you know, respect who you are. Don't just put on some makeup and just feel good just by looking at yourself. You need to feel good on the inside too.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like with the makeup, of course, is a confidence booster, right? So like for guys, it's a haircut, getting a nice haircut or maybe jewelry or whatever it may be. But for women, I would say it's makeup, accessories too, but it's important to be able to feel confident in yourself when you don't have it on, because I feel like we should never be completely reliant on anything, or is you're going to abuse it at some point, right? So, you know, if it's makeup, you can imagine how much, you know, a woman is spending just to have all the foundation, the concealer, and this,
and we
that,
spend
and the third. It's a lot. And they know you're going to spend it, so they mark it up so they know, like, yeah, if you can put it for that price, she's going to pay for it because she want to make sure she has it, right? So it's just being able to say, okay, you don't need it. And it's important because the little kids see it. So you can imagine a little girl watching her mom do her makeup every day, right?
And kids are sponges.
Yeah.
Kids pay attention to everything. It is so scary how much kids just pay attention to what it is that you do. And recently, my family welcomed a baby cousin. So, you know, how she pays attention to what we say, what we do, how we do it. I think that's what also made me realize, like, ooh, I probably do need to be a little bit careful about what I'm pushing out or how I'm trying to represent myself. And I represent myself as a very, you know, dynamic. I don't really like the word strong. I don't like when Black women use strong. Yeah, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Because I think sometimes when we use strong, it kind of makes us as if we are, how do I put it? I think this is the word, immortal. Think that people just think that we're just supposed to just get beat up and take. Oh, she's a strong Black woman.
Yeah.
Oh, she can handle that. She can handle that. And in reality, no. Like, that's just a stigma that I would never like and or appreciate. That strong Black women, you know, obviously, yes, we do have strong Black women, but I don't like it because I don't want it to be a situation where people don't think that Black women don't have issues. People don't think that Black women have mental health problems, or, you know, we're not always the strongest in the room. Sometimes we do cry, we do break, we do go through situations where we are not strong. Mm-hmm. But because we have that stigma, oh, she's a strong Black woman, power to the people, all of that, I can put whatever weight on her, mm-hmm. and she's going to be able to deal with it. And that's not true.
All right. So you said something perfect. I had a moment of just thinking this past week, and it was something I seen also that kind of made me think of it. But when you said what you just said, I'm like, oh, it's meant to be in a podcast at some point. But I just didn't know how I was gonna work mm-hmm. it in conversation. But now us just sitting here talking about it, I just thought about it. So it was more so about the major push for independent, strong Black women, right? Like that right there has been branded like strong. I'm a strong Black
No.
Like it is sometimes used as a sword. Like,
it is
they
like
use it like strong Black woman.
No. Like and Black women mm-hmm. get used to saying, no, you're not strong all the time.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that we get used to saying, no, we can't put all the weight on us all the time. No, we can't raise the kids by ourselves. No, mm-hmm. we can't, and I would hate to go down, don't hate me, y'all. I would hate to go down these stigmas that they put on Black women. No, we cannot do everything by ourselves. We can't uphold a household and the independent women and all of that. I hate that so much.
So it get used a lot, like to the point now where women stand by it. They will tell a man, I don't need you.
I would never tell a man I don't need you. Mm-hmm. Just because I know her, I am a very, strong, dynamic person. Mm-hmm. I have a very alpha presence, but I need a alpha man to put me in position, because there's moments where, I'll be like, did I just say that? Mm-hmm. Like there's times where I need to be in check. And then there's times where you need, if we didn't need people, God wouldn't create Eve for Adam.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there. If we really didn't need, I would never be the woman, the cliche type of woman to say, oh, I don't need a man. I need a man. Yeah. And I'm single. I need one now. I need a man. Like, I want someone to help me with my business. I want someone to help me with my house, raise my kids. I want that.
Yeah.
And I think it's very, obviously women have what they want or whatever, like, cool. Mm-hmm. Kudos to you. But it feels good to know that you have somebody that's willing to support you and build you. And, well, let me not say build you. Let me mm-hmm. say build together.
Most important,
That is the most important thing. You know how good that feels to know that you don't have to be alone. You don't have to do everything by yourself. Yeah. People get tired. And I think it's very naive and very wrong for us to say people don't get tired. We do.
Yeah.
Men get tired too.
Exactly. and the thing is with it too is like I feel like it's more so in the Black community more than anything, right? So it's like I saw something and it was just talking about like, oh, Black women, independent, strong, and the guy was having a conversation with another guy of another culture, and it's like, that's only in our culture for real. Like
it is.
You don't hear like promoted in other cultures. Other cultures promote family, right? If you're talking about the, Latino culture, Hispanics, if you're talking about the Asian culture, if you're talking about, Caucasian culture, like they all talk about family, unity, structure,
but
building.
Our culture, it's just, how we have that fight about 50-50 and all this stuff. And it's like, bro, y'all do realize other cultures are not having conversations like this.
No.
We are the only culture that is going to sit up here and have a full-blown argument about who's going to pay for what.
Exactly.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. And then it's like, bro, these people are looking at us crazy. But I want to piggyback to what you said earlier mm-hmm. about the strong Black woman thing, because, with my mom, I have 2 older sisters. Okay. So my mom raised 3 girls by herself.
Shout out to you.
And here is where I kind of have to share a little bit of her story. Raising 3 girls by yourself at, I think when, my mom had me, she was 23 years old. Mm. 3 girls, 23, you're practically a baby yourself.
Yeah.
And she made a lot of mistakes. because she didn't have my father and because she didn't have my older sister's father, she didn't have the support. So yes, she was going out there doing things she had no business doing because she was trying to survive. Not only could she have done it a different way, yes, but that's how she saw, that's what she saw that could help at that time. So she made a lot of bad mistakes because she didn't have that support. And seeing my mom go through that was the real reason why I said I don't like that stigma of strong Black women. I don't like the stigma of, oh, I'm a strong, I can do this by myself, because I literally watched somebody that I love wreck herself every day to make herself strong, even in moments when she was weak. And that hurted me so bad because obviously you're a kid. You can't do anything. You can't help. You can't, you're a child. But just watching a single mother on food stamps and going out and lights getting shut off and, sleeping in motel rooms. We had nowhere to go, sleeping in cars. It was the most terrible thing I have ever seen. And I will never normalize that.
Yeah.
It should never be normalized in anybody's culture, especially not ours. So
honestly, it makes a world of a difference when it's unity. Even when I look at people that are getting out of the household, right? Black culture is 18, get your ass ready to get them out of the door.
I had to
right?
get out the house at 18,
right?
so.
But in some of these other cultures, they stay living with their parents until they're actually ready to leave, right? So they end up staying with their parents, throughout college, if there's like local college. If not,
and they have the
campus.
financial stability to do so. Because now they're probably, 35, 36, moving out of their people's house, and they're able to buy a nice house, and they got a wife investment. And all of that. And I'm like, here we is, the ones that had to leave at 18, credit effed up, credit score of a 5, maybe, if you lucky, maybe a 6.
Probably broke it down and had to rebuild it back up. Yeah. So it's like, it shows like when you have to leave that early, especially if let's say you come from a parent that had to go through that. So then they're struggling just to get by, and then they have you, and then they don't necessarily have what they're supposed to have to give you, so that when you on your own, that you can. And
what does that create?
It creates a cycle. It just repeating the same thing.
You can't get out of it.
And somebody got to break it. Yeah.
Somebody has to break it. And it creates such a continuous. That, still going through this, like the worst.
Yeah. So, I look forward to breaking that cycle any way that I can. When it comes to the next generation, I'm like one of them people that I just love giving info. I'm not a person that's like, I'm not going to tell you whatever. No, whoever's willing to listen, I give them game on whatever. It's actually why I made this platform, because this platform is to help give free game or free information to people that inspire to do different things. So you are a model. You're also an artist. This person right now could be watching this and they want to be a model, or they want to be an artist, or they want to be both. And they could look at your story and be like, oh, okay, she was able to do it with her fro and her style and be able to find her way through it. She's able to create music that's empowering and not necessarily degrading. And she's able, if she can do it, then I can do it. And then, okay, this is how she went about it. These are her experiences. Yep. Okay, I know how I would go about it. And then they can go on their own journey.
I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning stages of what I was doing as far as modeling. Maybe going to the wrong castings, or meeting up with the wrong photographers, and meeting with the photographers that only want to shoot nude or swimwear. Sorry. Yeah. But like you said, it is important because people do need to see humble beginnings and where you are now. And I think that it's also important that models understand that models and artists, entertainers understand that branding is important. Because yes, you can have the most amazing product. I have seen very talented artists, entertainers, models, but until you brand it and market it and package it the way it needs to be packaged, only so many people will gravitate towards it. That's what we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
With Doja, with Ice, with Spice, everybody.
Yeah.
It is important that we understand how we present ourselves and how we're marketing and how we're doing it. That is very important, because it's not that I don't want to say that you're only going to get so far, but we have people that are less talented that are getting a lot further because of how they're packaging and putting out their branding and artistry and all that. It's important now. To be a model now, you basically have to be an influencer. To be anything now, you pretty much have to be an influencer.
Yeah.
You know, you have to get on social media and put, you know, I don't want to say portray an image, but portray an image.
Yeah, because they want you to create a fan base or audience that will follow you into each and every field that you enter.
Field, stage, you know, like I'm pretty sure there might be someone out there that's probably trying to be a natural girly and they see a page like me, you know, somebody who's rocking it and without a care in the world, they might gravitate towards that in that time of their life. And that's important that, you know, for instance, I'm going to use city girls. There was a time where everybody wanted to be a city girl. You know, we in our early 20s, we want to do da-da-da. So, you know, we're gravitating towards that type of energy, you know, and it's important that people see that.
I want to say something to that too. And again, nobody hate me for this. I'm always lead with don't nobody hate me for this because I just got thoughts and things like that. And, you know, I pause. So this is my way of getting it off. So it's pretty much like I seen a shift in the dynamic of our culture, right? And it was around the time of the City Girl era when that was kicking off. And, you know, I love the fact that Black women got the stage, right, to be able to share it amongst each other and not it be, hey, it's only room for 2 dominant females. The rest of y'all gotta. No, we've seen a plethora of different females, you know, embark on their music journey. And to this day, there's still, you know, every other week, every other month is a new artist, female artist that's, you know, catching a buzz, which is great. I just didn't like the culture of basically not caring about the message that you're giving and just passing it off like, oh, well, you know, it's just let them do their thing. You know, they women or they this or they that. You should just let them do it. And it wasn't just women. It was young people like, oh, just let the YNs do what they want. Y'all had it. Let them do what. And it was a lot of let them, right? And then we got to a point where we did it for so long that we started not liking what the environment was. Okay.
But what also happened on social media? What did that cause?
What you mean?
That caused that 50-50 argument.
Oh, yeah. Podcasting became a dominant lane in media, and then it was like everything was kind of rage bait. So it's like relationships became the center of the forefront because like if I talk about 50-50, this will get comments because I'm going to get men and I'm going to get women, right? They're all going to comment under it. And so just from that movement of, oh, don't worry about it, like just let them do their thing, it created an environment that people didn't like. So now 2026 and we're looking at the environment and what are all the problems that we have? Well, relationships now are transactional, right? People are struggling with the idea
that was being promoted.
Yeah, it became a thing. Like, you know, like, oh, make sure you're getting something out of him if you're going to deal with him. So now it's like, oh, all they want to do is want some money in order to even talk to them. And everything just seems like it's a give-take thing. Like, we're trying to...
And we had a generation that literally grew up on that.
Yeah, and it became the norm now. It's not... Everything that was before has flipped. And then even like with the young ones, like they into some wild stuff, and we looking back like, yeah, how did we get? Yeah, we said okay to everything.
We know how we got there. Yeah. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
I feel like that is the most hypocritical. Like that is a very hypocrite. Well, how did we get here? Well, let's take it back to 2000 and like, it's kind of like we promote that in the music. And then later on, when we are on social media and we're seeing arguments and we're seeing debates, we're like, oh, how do we get here? Especially with our culture. Yeah. And I'm going to y'all going to hate me because I'm going to keep saying it. You know, a lot of the music that was pushing that stigma and pushing that type of, you know, dynamic was our culture.
Yeah, very much.
And I think it is very naive for us to not admit that it was our culture that was pushing that. So now, fast forward years later, and continuously, who's still struggling with that? Yeah. Our culture.
Honestly, I'm not seeing, I could be wrong. I have not seen one white podcast talk about 50-50. I'm going to just say that.
Because when you find it, you send it to me.
I've not seen not one white podcast talk about 50-50 or a Hispanic podcast talk about 50-50 or a Chinese
when y'all find it, send it to me. I would love to watch
podcast
it.
talking about 50-50. No, they still living off the same structure that was established generations ago for their culture. Spanish is
too.
family oriented as hell.
Very.
They get together like every weekend.
And listen, I don't speak Spanish, but majority of the songs that I might listen to, I just, oh, no, you feeling sexy and going to the club and gasolina. And I don't really too much. Again, I'm not Spanish, so if I'm wrong, don't shoot me. I just don't see that promoted in other cultures. I don't like, white, I don't know what you consider white people music, but if you want to go there and say white people music, I don't really hear that either. I hear a lot of partying, maybe doing a lot of drugs, but I don't hear anything about I'm not paying for it or you got to get it and all. I'm not hearing that.
And if you do see an artist doing that of that race, they're mimicking our culture. Yes. So it's not even like let's say you see like a white female rapper talking about, I'm going to get the bag off him, this, that, and the third. She's not doing it from the perspective of her culture. She's doing it of a replication of our culture.
Most likely she's very influenced.
Yeah, she probably was raised around, black people in the hood, this, that, and the third. So she just mimicking what she's seeing, product of the environment, which is understandable because, we all a product of something. But it's like in the norm, that's not a thing in that culture. And, I personally would like to see a world where, we could finally get out of the dynamic of, black people, we need to get better and do better and have a better experience and learn to do better. And it's like, of course, we went through what we went through. And like I said, it's important to reflect on what you've been through because it could show you where you can go or what you've experienced and who you are as a person. But we got at some point it got to shift the dynamic. It can't always be you want to be independent but you crying because you ain't got no man.
Because you ain't got no man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that don't even make sense. And then
when you get a good man, you're crying because his finances might not
be that great.
What it is that you might want. I'm not gonna say need. I'm gonna say want.
Yeah, because he might be able to give you what you need. Like he could probably take care of the bills and then date night. You know what I'm saying? But
I seen a man making $36,000 a year being able to take care of his household.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen. You know what I'm saying? And $36,000 in this economy is dirt.
It's
like
grits.
That's dirt.
Yeah.
But I've seen men that honestly care. Like I would never be that person, and y'all know I'm a women's mental health advocate, so I love my women. But sometimes we do be a little left, not right. I have seen men that would, take care of women and, try to, I'm not saying put up women. That's not what I'm saying. But when I say take care, it's more so like, are you okay? Do you need anything? I can help you. Assisting you, not taking care of everything. Now, me on the other hand, I have a different, dynamic of how I want my relationship to run, but that's just me. But at the end of the day, it goes back to what you said. It is very important. But one thing I do want to talk about, because you said something earlier, it's kind of like myself being raised in an environment where both my grandparents were married. They're still married. It's been over 50 plus years. I saw the hardships, but I also saw what made it work. And there were times where my grandfather got sick. She had to take care of it. She had a stroke. She got sick. My grandfather had to step up, So I saw that yin and yang taking turns, taking care of each other. And I think back then that was so important. Like, that culture, like, they're from the 50s up until now. I think that was a time where Black people actually had to stay together, like the music and all that. Yeah, we've had music that was like pretty, trashy, whatever. But because they were in that time of togetherness and unity and the Martin Luther Kings and
they
all
cared
of that,
about each other.
They see that, so they understand the importance of it. And, my grandfather, from what he told me, he was like, a lot of y'all, the generation today, y'all don't appreciate unity.
Yeah.
Y'all don't appreciate coming together and actually wanting to be together and being an assistance to each other and growing and like building.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, because I talk to my grandfather all the time about my dating problems and what's going on.
Okay.
And, you know, he would tell me, he would say, I don't understand that. Like, he would literally, like, it's just such a disconnect when we have our conversations, because he would be like, I don't understand what men wouldn't want to, you know, be there or like help or assist, and what woman wouldn't want to be there and help and assist. That it's just a different time. Yeah. It's like everybody, like you said, it's very transactional. Everybody has to take something from something. And, you know, I get it. People be in bad relationships and then they're just like, oh, all hell breaks loose. But it is a strange time that we're living in.
No, that's deep, honestly. And for you to have your grandpa there to be able to reflect with him and him to be able to tell, like, what? Like, back then, honestly, and I was having a conversation with one of my friends the other day, and I was just like, man, people don't do fish fries no more. Like, they ain't doing no cookouts no more. Like, yeah, like,
the community don't even care about you. Your nephew probably out in the street. They don't even look out the door, call your neighbor, be like, you know, John out the door.
In this neighborhood.
They don't do that no more.
No, like,
don't do that.
People don't take care of each other or look to love one another, you know, like the system that was in place before is gone.
It don't feel good no more.
Yeah. It
feel like everybody is for themselves. And, you know, even with the music too, because I think we're slowly getting back to, like, I think people are waking up a little bit. Like, people are like, okay, we didn't put this crap out for years. Like, we ain't got no feel good music no more. Yeah. We ain't even got no real R&B hits no more.
You know what I tell people? I said, what's this generation wedding song?
We don't have one.
We ain't got one.
We don't have one. We gotta always, when people get married today, we gotta go back to the music in the early. Shoot, we still playing R. Kelly. Yeah. Like, and that nigga locked up. We still playing R. Kelly. And we know what this nigga done did. Like, we playing Jagged Edge. We ain't got that. And, you know, that's what's sad. It's like, what happened?
Yeah.
That lane is gone. And people don't want to do it. We got, you know, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. I love you, Leon. But, you know, we got, I'm a dog you out. I'm going to take your money.
Yeah.
I'm going to rob you. I'm going to kill you. But we ain't got, I want to be with you.
Yeah.
I want to start a family with you.
Ain't crying.
Yeah. We ain't got to meet me at the altars no more. We got to meet me at the ATM.
Yeah.
And then I'm
meet me at the courthouse. Meet at the courthouse for the child support.
Meet me at the child support office. Like, we ain't getting no younger.
Yeah, for real. That's honestly what it comes down to. And I even seen a meme the other day, and it was like the older people at weddings, and it was playing that Sexy Red. He wanna hang with a bad.
Cause that's all we got. He wanna hang with. Just imagine being. I wouldn't even know what to do if I was to get married and have my grandparents, and that's playing like. Like, what do you do? Like,
it was funny though, but I was just like, I put in a comment, I'm like, it's not weddings, it's baby showers now. Like, that's
we don't have the Stevie Wonders. Like, we don't have, oh my gosh, we lost so many good people. We don't have the Whitney Houstons no more. We don't have, wow. Yeah. No.
It's different. Like, even like when you think about like, all right, because like when I think about 90s, I think about strong female R&B artists, right? Of course, strong male R&B artists. And if you think about their biggest hits and what the message was, right? Tyrese, Sweet Lady. Would you be my sweet love for
that was good
a lifetime? So it's like love music, right? Music Soul Child, love, right?
Ooh.
Those were the messages, and the hit records was Be Mine, I Want You. What's the other one? There's another one I'm thinking of.
Don't forget Brandy. Don't forget Monica.
Brandy. Yeah, but you know, they kind of was like, the boy is mine. They kind of started off.
You know what? Can I talk about that for a minute? Yeah. Let me talk about that for a minute. You're right, because they did it. Yeah. But Brandy was popping down most to the. So, but it's something that I want to talk about, because I did see this on social media, and it said that a lot of labels are not developing artists anymore. But also, it's said because music is not lasting 30 to 40 years like it used to.
Well, it's not having the same messages like I'm missing
Yeah.
you. I'm missing you. These are hit records that still get played to this day, but the message was different. Now when you talk about this era of
it dies.
Great R&B, right? I love Mariah the Scientist, but a lot of the songs sound sad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's great sad music. Raw Wave, great sad music. You know, like the energy is like depressing. And
it is very depressing.
It's great depressing music, but then you wonder, like, why do we have so much depression and anxiety?
We got Summer Walker's. Summer Walker's first album, I really, really loved it. But then there was a second album where it was like, wait. Yeah. I feel like I gotta go rob a dude. Like I gotta go beat him up.
Yeah.
Like I should have. It was one thing she said. First off, I want to start off. Your mama should have whooped your ass. Like I'm like, Dad, hold up.
It's toxic.
Mind you, beautiful singer.
Yeah.
Beautiful singer. But you know, like you said, the message is like, okay, now I gotta go fight with my man because I just heard the new Summer Walker album, so you know what? I'm finna go start a fight. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like one of my favorites is Brent Faiyaz. Like he's one of my favorite artists because I just feel like his bag and like what he do is so him. It's very much his style, and so you know a lot of his stuff is toxic. You know if you know his hit records is some toxic shit, but it's some good ass music just based off of his production, how he delivers it, and everything like that.
Very talented.
And that's where I say like okay. That's the difference, right? If you're saying, because we do get influenced by our environment.
We do.
Right? So you can imagine. And then, you know, frequency play a high factor in how your mood and how you feel and controlling people's mood and what they do and how they think.
Those keys.
It's like.
That's why there's actually something, I forgot where I found it at, but, you know, in the church, they would play certain keys to get, you know, the praise.
Yeah, you can feel it. It comes through the sound, and so you can imagine if the sound is of that energy, and then that is the norm. That is literally the majority, and not like minority. That's why I said they all exist. Like all different sounds and styles are good. They shouldn't. You know, you shouldn't just say no. This shouldn't exist at all. They all serve a purpose. But what happens is in music is it becomes, oh, this is the hot thing. So everything else get pushed to the side, and this became the.
I think everybody now, and you know, I honestly don't even care what backlash I'm gonna get from this because I already know I am. Labels are just trying to make money.
Yeah, that's
people are just trying to make money. Artists are just trying to make money. No one really cares about the message. No one really cares about what it is they're putting out. Hell, I think they care a little bit to make sure they're not putting out like garbage, but. Labels are just trying to make money, which is why they're not developing artists anymore. They see a artist go viral on social media. Oh,
yeah,
I like
they got
it.
the following
Sign them
already.
$10,000, $100,000 contract. Let's get them on paper. And you know, back in the day, even with Motown used to pay for these people to have vocal classes. They used to have etiquette classes. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah. They used to have obviously dance rehearsals, all this. They were developing talent, and one, I don't know if that's, you know, money-wise, it's probably stricter. You know, they don't want to give too much. But these labels are now, it feels like, even if you pay attention to how the industry is moving, it just feels like a quick money grab. Yeah,
honestly, I just feel like they're more greedy. I mean, that's just how I look at it, because if you're looking at the mass production of music, before you had to make a CD. Right. Yeah. You had to actually create buy the disc, get the prints, a bulk of CDs, get them distribution to each store. Then they had to sell it, and that's where you start seeing a return. Now you make an album,
we have distribution platforms now. Yeah, you can just upload it. Even artists can do it themselves. Hell, I did it myself. So you can just upload it and voila,
bam,
boom.
It's there. And so now you're not selling a CD. So.
But now worth ethic wise, you're not pushing it no more.
Yeah, because I mean,
you feel like you don't really got to, in a way.
I feel like they figured out an easier way to do it. They're like, oh, okay, we're working hard to develop a star, right? And then they become independent at some point because your contract ends at some point. And then they learned everything, and now they don't want to sign back to us. So now we feel like we're missing out on all.
Yeah, because after you done screwed me for so many years.
Even though I own your music for the rest of your life because you
Yeah.
signed this contract, and I'm going to continue to eat, but I want to keep eating off of you, and now it's making it difficult. Now you want to be independent. So now it's like in a situation where it's like, okay, how about I just don't put money into you, right? Like I just make you do all the work. You already have the platform.
Or
You already have
develop
the
you.
audience.
And when I'm done using you,
Yeah.
because, like going back to the most important thing that stood out to me with artist development was etiquette classes.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these artists, background.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm gonna say. Backgrounds. They
Yeah.
come from different backgrounds. So a lot of these artists are coming from the hood environments. They're coming from less education. They're coming from, just imagine if you were a label and you were actually taking the time out to develop the artist, like, etiquette wise and all of that. They become smarter. They become, more, okay, if it's not working here, I can go to Rock Nation or I can go somewhere else to where it could work, But if you are operating from a system that's not quite, ethically, like, etiquette wise correct.
Yeah.
It is going to be a lot easier for a label to just get what they need and kind of discard of you. Like, oh, well, they're not going to go anywhere and sell any more records. We dealt with this attitude or we dealt with this problem and whatever. And I think a lot of artists don't even understand that. They don't even understand the importance of knowing the business, learning the business, educating yourself. And I think labels prey on the fact that people don't know.
Yeah, that's where they work from. It's a business. Business is leverage. Like I have what I have, you got what you got. And the way I win this contract negotiation is if I end up with more out of this. So if you don't know nothing, then that's perfect. You know what I'm saying?
We're all good to go.
Yeah. Like
sign this contract.
So you just want some money? That's it? Like that's, all right, I'm going to give you some money.
Oh my
How
God,
this sound?
that's so bad.
Yeah,
That's so
how
bad.
this sound? You don't got to worry about nothing else in this contract. Just sign it. We good.
Yeah.
Don't worry
You
about
got
it.
your little 50,000 up
You
front.
got a lawyer. We gave it to you.
Yeah.
That's our lawyer, but he your lawyer too. So just sign it. Everything is good. Exactly how it should be. And he go to check. And then so from there, it's like, all right. And then you never had money before, so you're not going to make good decisions.
That goes back to what I was
burning through
saying,
it.
Backgrounds.
Yeah.
They're coming from certain backgrounds. Do I feel like labels prey on artists that come from certain backgrounds? No, I think that's a little bit too far-fetched.
You don't think so?
I think that's a little far-fetched. Like,
I'm just saying the message that's being pushed is coming from what culture?
you know what? Tell me an artist that got signed who has, besides Megan Thee Stallion, who has education behind them. Like I'm talking about full-blown degrees, not degrees that they received
It's probably
honorably.
It's probably the older artists. I know Killer Mike has it, but
I love
again,
Killer Mike.
he's
I
an older
met him,
artist. I would say them because they might have hit their peak like later in their years. So, they probably was in school and then, trying to do music, and then eventually after graduating they began to catch success. But the majority of artists now are so young that they ain't even get a chance to go to school. Some of them are still in high school and they're giving them a deal. They're in high school. I mean, that's what it is now. You look at NIL in sports, these kids are in high school. They're not even fully developed yet, but you're giving them all this money.
And
So-
the education wise behind that, oh my God.
And it's like, what can you really judge them? They're young. We all made
No.
mistakes. We didn't get nearly as much money, and we made mistakes.
I was
You know
gonna
what I'm
say,
saying?
look, I made this mistake off a $10,000 refund.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
I don't even know where it's at. I'm like, dang,
Hey,
what I spent it on?
And then all you talk about is, boy, next time when I get that money, I'm
Next time when I get it, got it again. What I spent it on?
So you can imagine, they playing in an even bigger game where it's like more on the line, more, think about it this way. Could you imagine getting rich at a young age, let's say no more than like 21, 22, and you come from a certain background and you're the only person in your family that has it, right? And so everybody else is still going through it, and you're not that separated from them. You was just sleeping in the crib last week. You know what I'm saying? So now you have it, and now you have the stress of other family members that feel like because you have it, you're entitled to help us because we're your family.
Brorilla. Anyways. Sorry, girl.
She says you gotta deal with Sheen.
Me personally, if that would have happened to me, I know the mindset that I had in my early 20s, I would have fumbled. I would have fumbled it. I would have lost it all. I probably would have did some stupid hell. I probably would have invested, because I've done it before, invested into stupid projects with men and all stuff like that. So I would have lost it. And I think that's, very honest for me to say that the type of person that I was in my early 20s. Now I'm in my late 20s, but the type of person I was in my early 20s, not there.
Yeah. I think the only people that get saved is the ones like their parents had education. And so their parents step in and say, no, we're not doing this. We're going to do this instead. And, to the child, it's like, man, why you, this is my money. But in actuality, they get older. They still got their money. They still got their mind, because they, their parent didn't let them go to all the parties or let them get engulfed in all the different type of friends, and protected them through the whole time of their younger career. And so when they become adults, they still got the money. They still intact. And you're looking at them like, oh, damn, they developed pretty good.
Right.
And really, in actuality, they just had a foundation behind them. They had parents.
I like that word, foundation.
Yeah, that's the word that I feel like going into this year, foundation needs to make a return in the Black community.
That was like ringing in my ear when you said that, foundation.
What? Oh my God! Can you imagine?
That's 2 words this year. For me, it was grace.
Grace. Oh, that's another one. I'm still learning.
It was giving grace to my younger self. Just like you said, I've made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah. And
I was someone that was so hard on myself. But then I had to understand, and not making any excuse at all, but I had to understand the background that I came from. And I was like, you don't really give yourself grace for going through so much at an early age, or dealing with what you were dealing with and having the family dynamic that you had. You don't give yourself grace. And I really had to take that moment and just say, wow, like, and I kid you not, when the clock struck, it's like I just heard the word grace in 2026.
That's important, honestly. We'll get there. Foundation, everybody, let's work on foundation. It takes a village. There's a lot of phrases that let you know foundation. Like, it takes a village. If you really dissect what that means when it comes to raising a child, lets you know it's not just you. It's not like you gonna do all this by yourself. Like, nah, because when you're a single parent, you have to work a certain amount to keep the lights on, food on the table, clothes on the back, roof over the head. So you work so much, you don't have time to raise your child. So the world is raising your child, and the world might not think how you think or care about your child like how you care about your child. And so they can get into things or get around the wrong people or get into, other stuff that can, steer them in the wrong direction. So
the title of this podcast, Foundation.
Foundation. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on. What's some of the things that we can expect coming from you?
There's a lot of things you guys can expect from me this year in 2026. In the coming years, I actually want to get more into acting. I want to dabble. Look, I can't stay in one lane forever. I want to dabble into different things. More music. I do want to produce a dance album. So it's like us, because Respect My Walk is pretty much dance, fun, pop. So this will be a dance pop album, just a feel good music. I want to put that out there. And more modeling, of course. You can always see that. But the most important thing that I'm working on right now, I would say, is like the album.
Okay, that's what's up.
Feel good.
Yeah. And where can they find you at?
So you guys can find me on Instagram at It's Official Qveen, and that's Queen with a V, because I am victorious.
I like that. All right, and also follow Artist to Artist Podcast on all platforms. Hit the notification bell for her anytime that she drop new music or visuals. You'll get that link directly to your phone. You just hit it, boom, you got it right there, right? Also, like, comment, subscribe, support her in all the moves that she got going on. And if you're looking to start your own podcast, hit up the AV Club Podcast Studio. We got great lights with the 4K cameras, and we got a great location, too. We got you.